How does it work? Linda Cheng and Jerry Rothman own Holiday Tours, a small travel agency. Today is Linda's first day back from a 2-week vacation. Listen to the conversations.
Welcome back, Linda. How was your vacation?
Great. I really got a lot of rest. Hey, what's this?
It's a telephone answering machine.
Oh, yeah? How does it work?
It's easy. Before you leave the office, turn this dial to answer, then push the on button.
Like this?
Yeah, that's right.
This coffee maker is new, too. How does it work?
Well, you put the coffee in here and the water in here, then you turn on the machine.
Hey, let's make some now. Where's the coffee?
There isn't any left.
Oh, that's too bad.
I can get some more at the grocery store when I go out to lunch. Oh, by the way, I'm going to have lunch with Bill McKay today. Do you want to come along?
I'd like to, but I'm really busy today. I have a lot of phone calls to make.
I'm leaving now. Are you going to go out later?
I'm just going to get a sandwich at the coffee shop downstairs.
Well, don't forget to turn on the answering machine when you go out.
Okay, I won't.
Hi, how's everything coming?
Oh, fine. I answered a few letters and made a lot of phone calls. What's the weather like now? It was awful around 1 o'clock.
Terrible. It's hot and humid. Did we get any calls on the answering machine while you were out?
No, nobody called.
Now, listen to the conversations again and repeat each line.
Welcome back, Linda. How was your vacation?
Great. I really got a lot of rest. Hey, what's this?
It's a telephone answering machine.
Oh, yeah? How does it work?
It's easy. Before you leave the office, turn this dial to answer, then push the on button.
Like this?
Yeah, that's right.
This coffee maker is new, too. How does it work?
Well, you put the coffee in here and the water in here, then you turn on the machine.
Hey, let's make some now. Where's the coffee?
There isn't any left.
Oh, that's too bad.
I can get some more at the grocery store when I go out to lunch. Oh, by the way, I'm going to have lunch with Bill McKay today. You want to come along?
I'd like to, but I'm really busy today. I have a lot of phone calls to make.
I'm leaving now. Are you going to go out later?
I'm just going to get a sandwich at the coffee shop downstairs.
Well, don't forget to turn on the answering machine when you go out.
Okay, I won't.
Hi, how's everything coming?
Oh, fine. I answered a few letters and made a lot of phone calls. What's the weather like now? It was awful around 1 o'clock.
Terrible. It's hot and humid. Did we get any calls on the answering machine? while you were out?
No, nobody called.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all over the world. Have you ever bought a machine or an appliance for the first time and you had problem with how to make it work? Or you might have had problem with instructions or something like that. So here we talk about two different appliances, and there are questions about how to make them work. Linda Cheng is just returning to work from a 2-week vacation. Their co-worker Jerry Rothman is welcoming her back and showing her all the new appliances the office has acquired since she has been gone. It is common for a business office in the United States to have a coffee maker and sometimes a small refrigerator on the premises to provide refreshments for rest breaks and for eating lunch in the office. Now let's talk a little bit about the language used in this lesson. Linda and Jerry use informal language such as great or hey or oh yeah and hi with each other since they are good friends. When Jerry reminds Linda to turn on the answering machine, he uses the expression don't forget to. And when he invites her to lunch, he asks informally, do you want to come along? So these are the main points that we have in this lesson, but by any chance, if there is something that you don't understand, you still have problem with, you can ask your questions directly and put your comments in the comment section of YouTube, and I'll definitely answer them. Alright, now as usual and as always, let's listen to these introductory conversations one more time for the reinforcement of our practice and to make sure that we have learned everything. Alright, let's listen in.
Unit 5. How does it work? Linda Cheng and Jerry Rothman own Holiday Tours, a small travel agency. Today is Linda's first day back from a 2-week vacation. Listen to the conversations.
Welcome back, Linda. How was your vacation?
Great. I really got a lot of rest. Hey, what's this?
It's a telephone answering machine.
Oh, yeah? How does it work?
It's easy. Before you leave the office, turn this dial to answer, then push the on button.
Like this?
Yeah, that's right.
This coffee maker is new, too. How does it work?
Well, you put the coffee in here and the water in here, then you turn on the machine.
Hey, let's make some now. Where's the coffee?
There isn't any left.
Oh, that's too bad.
I can get some more at the grocery store when I go out to lunch. Oh, by the way, I'm going to have lunch with Bill McKay today. Do you want to come along?
I'd like to, but I'm really busy today. I have a lot of phone calls to make.
I'm leaving now. Are you going to go out later?
I'm just going to get a sandwich at the coffee shop downstairs.
Well, don't forget to turn on the answering machine when you go out.
Okay, I won't.
Hi, how's everything coming?
Oh, fine. I answered a few letters and made a lot of phone calls. What's the weather like now? It was awful around 1 o'clock.
Terrible. It's hot and humid. Did we get any calls on the answering machine while you were out?
No, nobody called.
Now, listen to the conversations again and repeat each line.
Welcome back, Linda. How was your vacation?
Great. I really got a lot of rest. Hey, what's this?
It's a telephone answering machine.
Oh, yeah? How does it work?
It's easy. Before you leave the office, turn this dial to answer. Then push the on button.
Like this?
Yeah, that's right.
This coffee maker is new, too. How does it work?
Well, you put the coffee in here, and the water in here, then you turn on the machine.
Hey, let's make some now. Where's the coffee?
There isn't any left.
Oh, that's too bad.
I can get some more at the grocery store when I go out to lunch. Oh, by the way, I'm going to have lunch with Bill McKay today. Do you want to come along?
I'd like to. But I'm really busy today. I have a lot of phone calls to make.
I'm leaving now. Are you going to go out later?
I'm just going to get a sandwich at the coffee shop downstairs.
Well, don't forget to turn on the answering machine when you go out.
Okay, I won't.
Hi, how's everything coming?
Oh, fine. I answered a few letters and made a lot of phone calls. What's the weather like now? It was awful around 1 o'clock.
Terrible. It's hot and humid. Did we get any calls on the answering machine while you were out?
No, nobody called.
All right, good work. Very nice. Now we've got figure it out in front of us to test our understanding. There's one question, two answers, one of which is correct. Number one, as an example, how does it work? Two answers. Turn this dial to answer and then push the on button. Part B, it's a telephone answering machine. Of course, part A is correct because we need some explanation on how it works to answer this question. How does it work? Part B is not any explanation about how it works, so it is quite irrelevant. Number two, where's the coffee? Part A, you put the water in here. Part B, there isn't any left. What do you think? Sure, B is correct, that's right. There isn't any left. Number three, do you want to come along? Two answers. A, okay, I won't. B, I'd like to, but I'm really busy today. What do you think? Yeah, of course, part B is correct. Yeah, part A is not the answer to the question exactly. Number four, don't forget to turn on the answering machine. Two answers. Okay, I won't. Then part B, no, nobody called. What is your idea? That's correct. Part A is correct. Okay, I won't. Part B is quite meaningless and doesn't make sense here. Number 5. What's the weather like? 2 answers. It's hot and humid. And part B, oh, that's too bad. What is your opinion? Part A is correct. It's hot and humid. Alright. Exercise 2. What are they talking about? Match. Number 1. Great. I really got a lot of rest. Part B is about Linda's vacation. Now, number 2. Hey, let's make some now. What's it about, do you think? On the other side, on the right side. Which part? Part D. Of course, it's about coffee. You make some coffee. Right. Number 3. Turn this dial to answer and push the on button. What's it about? Part C. The answering machine. That's right. Number 4. Do you want to come along? Of course, it's about part A, lunch with Bill McKay. Good. Have you ever tried to fix anything? Can you fix any sort of appliance or something? Well, here we can fix it in our comprehension dialogue. Charley Jackson stops by Steve's foreign auto repair shop on his way home from the bank. He finds Steve trying to write a radio commercial to advertise his shop. Many small business owners make their own ads for radio and TV. Here in this lesson, we have some expressions related to jobs and work, such as how's it going at the bank, a lot of bills, a lot of responsibility, at least you like what you do, or things of this sort. There are some other vocabulary and expressions, of course, like what's the recorder for, or I want to know, or I want to listen how it sounds. Yeah. Or if this recording is good, I'll give it to an ad agency, and something like this. Now let's see what Steve and Charley talk about exactly.
Page 38. We can fix it. Charley has stopped by Steve's shop after work. 1. Comprehension dialogue. Listen to the conversation.
Hi, Charley. How's it going at the bank?
Not too bad, I suppose. A little boring. Hey, are you going home now?
Not yet. I have a few more things to do. But I'll be ready in about 10 minutes.
Okay, I'll wait. What's the tape recorder for?
I wrote an ad for the shop, and I just taped it. I want to hear how it sounds.
You mean you're going to have an ad on the radio?
Yeah. If this tape is good, I'll give it to an ad agency. They can make a really professional ad from it.
That's a good idea. I'm sure you'll get more customers that way.
Boy, I hope so. I've got a lot of bills to pay.
This business is a lot of responsibility for you. But at least you like what you do.
Yeah, it's all right. Hey, listen to this ad. I think you'll like it. We can fix it. At Steve's Foreign Auto Repair, we work on all four.
Now our comprehension test. Right, wrong, or I don't know. 1. Steve has a tape recorder in his office. That's right. Now let's see about the proof for this answer. When we look at the conversation, we see that Charley says, what's the tape recorder for? Yeah, that's the reason. Number 2. Charley's job at a bank isn't very interesting. What do you think? That's right, of course. Because when Steve asks, how's it going at the bank, Charlie says, a little boring. Yeah, this is why. Number 3. Charlie wrote an ad for the shop. What do you think? The answer is wrong because Steve wrote an ad for the shop. Number 4. Steve wants to get more customers. What do you think? The answer is right because when Charlie says, I'm sure you'll get more customers that way, Steve says, boy, I hope so. Yeah, alright. Number 5. Steve always pays his bills. What do you think? Yeah, I don't know. We don't know about that. Number 6. Steve likes his job. What is your opinion? That's right, because when Charlie says, at least you like what you do, Steve says, yeah, it's alright. Okay.
3. Listen in. Steve and Charlie are listening to the radio commercial that Steve made. Read the statements below. Then listen to the commercial and choose A or B.
What's wrong, honey?
I don't know. The car won't start.
Not again. Did you turn off the air conditioner last night?
Of course.
Did you turn off the lights?
Yes.
Why did we buy a 1959 Volvo? No one can ever fix it.
We can fix it. At Steve's Foreign Auto Repair, we work on any and all foreign cars. So, if there's anything wrong with your car, just bring it to us. We're located at 6100 Bell Street, just off the San Bernardino Freeway. And don't forget, folks, we can fix anything.
Which is the correct answer? 1. The man in the commercial, A, forgot, B, didn't forget to turn off the lights. 2. At Steve's shop, they can fix A, some foreign cars, B, all foreign cars. 3. Steve's shop is at A, 6100 Bell Street, B, 6010 Bell Street.
Alright, let's see what we have now. Number 1. The man in the commercial forgot or didn't forget to turn off the lights. Which one did you choose? Yeah, of course, B is correct. Didn't forget. Right. Number 2. At Steve's shop, they can fix some foreign cars, all foreign cars. Which one is correct? That's right. B is correct. All foreign cars. Number 3. Steve's shop is at A, 6100 Bell Street or B, 6010 Bell Street. Which one? The first one, part A. That's right. 6100 Bell Street.
4. Say it right. Say going to formally and informally. Then practice the conversation both ways. First, say going to formally and then informally. Going to, formal. Gonna, informal. Now listen to the formal conversation.
Are you going to go home now?
I'm not sure. What are you going to do?
I'm going to have dinner with Larry. Do you want to come along?
Sure.
Now, listen to the conversation again and repeat each line.
Are you going to go home now?
I'm not sure. What are you going to do?
I'm going to have dinner with Larry. Do you want to come along?
Sure.
Now, listen to an informal conversation.
Are you going to go home now?
I'm not sure. What are you going to do?
I'm going to have dinner with Larry. Do you want to come along?
Sure.
Now, listen to the conversation again and repeat each line.
Are you going to go home now?
I'm not sure. What are you going to do?
I'm going to have dinner with Larry. Do you want to come along?
Sure.
Alright folks, now your turn section and completion of the unfinished conversation. Steve and Charlie have gone home. Margaret and Archie are trying out Steve's new digital recorder. Act out the conversation. So Margaret starts talking and says, "Did you see Steve's new recorder?" Archie says, "Yeah." Then we have a blank. And the next line says, "Well, first you push the record button. What do you think the blank should be about?" What can we say in the blank as a question? Yeah, Archie says, "Yeah, how does it work?" And Margaret says, "Well, first you push the record button." And then Archie says, "Like this." Margaret says, "That's right." Then says something into the microphone. Archie says, "Okay." And he says something like, "Hello, my name's Archie," for example. Then Margaret says, "Then you push the stop button." Archie says, "And then?" What do you think he says? He asks something. He says, "And then I push the play button," or "Do I push the play button?" And Margaret says, "Right." Archie says, "I don't hear anything." Margaret can say, "Turn up the volume," yeah, or something logical, in this connection. Or she can also say, "Maybe it is not working," or "Maybe there is a technical problem," or anything that can apply, in this regard. I hope it's been clear to you. Okay? Alright, now our grammar points, which is about going to. One of the ways to make a future tense is to use going to instead of will. When we use the modal auxiliary will for future, we are not so sure about that activity. It is possible that it will happen, or it is also possible it will not happen. But when we use going to for future, we are almost sure, and it is almost 100% happening, right? That's the difference between will and going to. And going to is also about a near future activity, yeah? So we have an example in the frame. Let's read it. I'm going to have lunch in the park. We're going to have lunch in the park. They're going to have lunch in the park. He is going to have lunch in the park. She's going to have lunch in the park. As you can see, it's about having lunch in the park. And lunch is in fact, having lunch is a very near future, yeah? It's not about next month or next year or something. It's about today, yeah? Today we are going to have lunch. So it's about an activity in the near future, and we are almost sure about that, 100%. Here we can see the contraction of the verb be. Yeah, instead of I am, we have I'm. Instead of we are or they are, we have we're and their. Instead of he is or she is, we have his and she's. So after different forms of the verb be, am, is, are, we put the phrase going to, and then we add the main verb of our sentence, whatever it is. Instead of have here, we can put another verb. I'm going to play football in the park, yeah? Or I'm going to sleep in the afternoon, whatever. In negative form, we add not to the forms of the verb be, am, is, are, yeah, and we have the negative form. We have some examples here. I'm not going to stay home, or we're not going to stay home. They aren't going to stay home. He's not going to stay home. She isn't going to stay home. We simply add not to is, are, or am, and we have the negative form. Yeah, that's simple. So, as a summary, we can say going to is a phrase that is used to make future tense, and this kind of future is certain, we are sure about it, and 100% it happens in the near future. That's all. Now let's test ourselves by answering exercise 1, which says complete the conversation using going to in your answers. Now, yes, no questions and information questions. Imagine an affirmative sentence. For example, you are going to go to New York, right? It's an affirmative sentence. We simply invert are and you, and we have yes, no questions. So you are going to go to New York becomes are you going to go to New York? And this is yes, no question. Or he is going to go to New York becomes is he going to go to New York? And the answer simply is yes, he is, or no, he isn't, or yes, you are, no, you aren't, right? This is yes, no question. In order to have information question, we add the question words in the beginning of yes, no questions. For example, are you going to go to New York? Then it becomes where are you going to go? We simply omit or delete New York, the destination. Or for example, instead of where, if we put how, we say how are you going to go to New York? Yeah, and the answer might be I'm going to go there by plane or by boat or anything like that. I must also add the question that we make with going to for future is the same as the question we make with present continuous. For example, are you going to go to New York, or are you going to New York? Both are for future tense, and both are about near future and the future which is certain. 100% we are sure it will happen. Another example, are you going to play football tomorrow, or are you playing football tomorrow? They are both the same in their functions. Now let's try to answer the second exercise, which says Bill and his friend Anna Rivera are both teachers. They're talking about their summer plans. Complete the conversation. Example, Bill says, "What are you going to do this summer, Anna?" Anna says, "I'm going to spend 2 months in Mexico." And Bill says, "Great. Are you going to stay with your sister?" And the rest of the exercise which you do. Okay? Do you remember imperatives? Yeah, we spoke about it in the first level, level 1. Now we have negative imperatives. As you remember, imperative sentences started with the verb, all of them. Yeah, for example, open the door, walk to the corner. All are imperative sentences or commands. Imperative means commands. Now we want to make them negative. We simply add don't or do not. Don't is the contraction of do not, and we have negative imperatives. You can see in the frame some sentences. Don't forget to buy stamps. Don't worry about it. Don't make a left turn. Don't go out of your way. So it's very simple. We just add don't to the affirmative form of imperative, and we'll turn them into negative this way. Exercise 3 says complete the conversations with sentences from the grammar frame. Right, we have, "Oh no, I forgot to call Henry." Then the answer is, "Don't worry about it. I'm going to see him later anyway." So this is an example. Let's think about the rest. Our reading comprehension text is about the topic of the day, global warming and the climate change. Yeah? So let's listen in and see about the details of this phenomenon, which can lead to serious consequences.
Lesson 29. What's up with the weather? Here is an article about the weather. Listen as you read the article.
In recent years, the daily weather reports have sounded like real news, surprising, and sometimes even frightening. Examples. In the United States, a June snowfall in Colorado and floods in the southern California desert. The worst drought in 50 years in a large part of the African continent. The coldest summer in history in Melbourne, Australia. So, what's up with the weather? Are we seeing a worldwide change in climate? Or are snowy summer days not really that strange? Scientists say that unusual weather is not really unusual at all. In fact, they say we should always expect extreme hot and cold or wet and dry periods. Scientists also point out that natural disasters can cause extreme weather that lasts for months or even years. Volcanic eruptions, for example, can change temperatures around the world. Other experts, however, point out that these explanations do not explain some major changes in the Earth's climate, such as the rapid growth of the Sahara Desert during the last 10 years. The map below shows some of the strange weather in recent years, and some theories about what might be causing it. Greenhouse gases. The average temperature has increased 1 degree Fahrenheit in the last 100 years. Some experts blame carbon dioxide and other gases for warmer temperatures. These gases act like the glass of a greenhouse. They let in the sunlight, but they don't let heat escape. Even a small increase in temperature can cause extremes in the weather. Volcanic eruptions. An eruption may throw millions of tons of gas and ash into the stratosphere. The haze can lower temperatures around the world for several years. El Niño. Every few years, a pool of warm water in the Pacific grows larger and moves east. As it changes direction and temperature, it causes extreme weather in many parts of the world. It may cause floods in Latin America, warm winters in North America, and droughts in Africa. The United States. It hardly ever rains in Southern California, but recent heavy rain and snow caused serious floods. Africa. Extremely dry weather from Cairo in the north to Cape Town in the south may also be the result of El Niño. Hong Kong. This city recently had its wettest 5-month period in 100 years. Brazil. Record rainfalls in southern Brazil may be caused by El Niño. The Middle East. This region recently had the coldest winter in 40 years. Amman, Damascus, and Jerusalem even had heavy snow. Australia. January is summer in Melbourne, Australia, where they expect hot, sunny days. However, this city recently had the coldest January in its history.
Now our comprehension check. 1. Look at the map and find a place where recently the weather was unusually cold, dry, wet. Number 2. Match to make sentences. El Niño, greenhouse gases, volcanic eruptions should be matched to their consequences on the right side. 3. Find the appropriate location of your country on the map. Was it unusually wet or dry or hot or cold this year? So it's all on your own. Think about it.
Unit 5. Exercise 1. Complete the conversations you hear. Choose A or B. 1.
I'm back from lunch. How's everything?
Oh, fine. I answered a few letters.
Don't forget to write to Mr. Hornby.
2.
I'm really tired.
Me too. Let's make some coffee. Where is it?
3.
This is new. What is it?
A telephone answering machine.
How does it work?
4.
Hi, how was your vacation?
Great. I got a lot of rest.
What was the weather like?
5.
What are you going to do this afternoon?
I'm going to go swimming. Do you want to come along?
6.
Where's the coffee?
There isn't any left.
Are you going to buy some more when you go out?
5. Exercise 5. Listen to the conversations. What object or place are the people talking about in each conversation? 1.
What's this?
It's a telephone answering machine. You just turn this dial to answer and then push the on button.
2.
How does this coffee maker work?
You put the coffee in here and the water in here. Then you turn on the machine.
Three.
What kind of store is that?
It's a stationery store. You can buy paper, envelopes, and things like that. All kinds of stationery. Four.
What do I do now?
Put the clothes in the machine, add soap, and turn the dial to wash.
Five. What does this do?
It opens cans. Just put the can under here.
Six.
Hey, you're lucky to have this. It was so hot in here before.
Yeah, it's new. My old one didn't cool my apartment. Seven.
What do you sell in your store?
Oh, just food and other grocery items.
Eight.
How does this work?
Put the bread in here, then turn this to light or medium. Don't turn it to dark. It sometimes burns the toast. Exercise 6. Listen to the conversations. Then write, "That's right," or "That's wrong," after each pair of statements. 1.
Let's have lunch.
I should answer these letters first.
Okay, we can go out later.
Two. How does this work?
First you put the coffee in here. Yes, that's right. Then you put the water in here. Now you turn on the machine.
Three. What's this?
It's a telephone answering machine. Before you leave the office, turn this dial to answer. Then push the on button.
Four. Good afternoon, Mr. Andrews.
Good afternoon. Did I get any calls while I was out?
Yes, just after you left, Mr. Garland called.
Oh, I'm going to call him right away.
Five.
I'm going to the sandwich shop downstairs. Can I get you anything?
Can you wait a minute? I want to go with you, but I have to make a phone call first.
Six. It's awfully cold in here.
Why don't you turn off the air conditioner?
It's still chilly.
Then put on a sweater.
Okay, I think I will.
Match the questions and answers. There are 2 answers for each question. Then write the questions and answers. Number 1 is an example, as usual. How does this work? Part D. You have to push the on button. Part F. You have to wait for the machine to start. Number 2. What are you looking for? What are the answers, you think? Part B, my purse. Part G, the stamps. Number 3. Do you want to have lunch with me? What are your answers? Part C, sure. Where do you want to go? Part E, I'd like to, but I have other plans. Number 4. Are you going to leave now? Part A, yes I am. Part H, no, but Jane is going to leave now. Complete the conversation with the missing questions. Joanne and Harry have just gotten to work. Joanne notices a new electric heater. Picture 1. What's that? It's an electric heater. Picture 2. What do you think the question is? Yeah, the question is, how does it work? The answer is, let me see. Just turn the dial to low, medium, or high. Picture 3. Like this? Yes, that's right. Picture 4. That's much better. It's pretty cold in here. By the way, are you going to go out for lunch? I don't think so. I think I'm going to eat here. Are you going to have lunch with Sandra? Yes, I always have lunch with Sandra on Monday. Do you want to come along? I'd like to, but I'm too busy. But say hi to her for me. Read the note. Then write the question for each answer. Use the words in parentheses. Eric is going away on a business trip this weekend. His friend Henry is going to take care of his dog Lily while he's gone. Henry, thanks for taking care of Lily this weekend. Here are some things you need to know. 1. Please take Lily to the park in the morning. Can you also take her around the block once in the evening? 2. She usually eats around 6 in the evening. There isn't any dog food left, but you can get some at the grocery store down the street. 3. Don't forget to lock the door when you go out. Well, that's all. I really appreciate this. I'll treat you to dinner sometime next week. Eric. P.S. Here's $5 for the dog food. Now we should write the questions for each answer. Number 1 example. When is Eric going to take care of Lily? This week. In parentheses, as you can see, we have Eric going to. These are the key words we can use. These are the guidelines for us, guide words for us. Number 2, the answer is in the morning. In parentheses, we have Henry and should. These 2 key words. Yeah? What should we say? We should say, when should Henry take Lily to the park? Number 3, in parentheses, we have Henry and can. These 2 clues, these 2 keywords. The answer, at the grocery store down the street. What do you think the question is? The question is, where can Henry buy dog food? Number 4, the keywords are Henry and should. The answer is, when he goes out. What do you think the question must be? When should Henry lock the door? When he goes out. Number 5. Lily does. 2 key words. words? The answer, around 6 in the evening. So based on the note, the question should be, when does Lily usually eat? Number 6. The key words are Eric going to, in parentheses. The answer, sometime next week. So, let's look at the note. What should the question be? Yeah. When is Eric going to cook dinner for Henry? Sometime next week. Very good. Good work. Now, the very practical stage of our lesson. The harvest time of what we have sown till now. So, this is the harvest time. We should understand how much we can talk and make a conversation, a logical conversation. It says, act out the conversation. Take the part of student A or student B. Student A, you're going to go, or in other words, you're gonna go, because in our lesson we learn gonna is the informal form of going to. So in speaking we can say you're gonna go, right? You're gonna go to a grocery store this afternoon, and you have to go to the drugstore too. Ask student B, your roommate, if he or she needs anything. So this is for student A. Now let's see about student B. There isn't any coffee or toothpaste left in your apartment, and you need some envelopes. You only have time to go to one store. Discuss the problem with student A, your roommate, and decide what to do. Alright? So this is a practical pair practice, and it should be done between two people or more than two people. So let me start and give you an example. For example, I'm student A. I say, I'm going to go to a grocery store this afternoon. Can I buy you anything? Or do you need something that I can buy for you while I'm there? This is an example for student A. And student B can talk about anything he or she wants. So do it in pairs and do it on your own. Good luck. Good work. Complete the conversations with questions using the future with going to or with short answers. United American Airlines Flight 107 from San Francisco to Houston is ready for takeoff. Passenger 1, stewardess, passenger 2, and passenger 3. These are the people we have for the first part. So, passenger 1, when is the plane going to take off? Stewardess, right now. We're just a few minutes late. Passenger 2, is there going to be a movie? Or is there gonna be a movie? Stewardess, no, there isn't, I'm sorry. Passenger 3, are you going to serve breakfast? Stewardess, yes we are, but not right away. The second conversation. A child and a mother talk. The child says, are grandma and grandpa gonna meet us? Mother, yes they are. Child, are they gonna bring their cat to the airport? Mother, no they aren't. Child, where am I gonna sleep at grandma and grandpa's house? Mother, in the little bedroom downstairs. So this is how we can complete these two conversations. Complete the conversations with the sentences below. So don't forget to pick up the children. Don't forget to turn off the lights. Don't go yet. Don't push the record button. Don't go out of your way. Don't worry. Now we should see where is the best place we can put these sentences in 6 conversations that we have in front of us. Number 1. Uh-oh. I don't have enough change for the bus. Don't worry, I have lots of change. Number 2. Don't forget to turn off the lights. Our electric bill was too high last month. Number 3. Thanks for inviting me to the party. I had a wonderful time. Don't go yet. I'd like you to meet some people. Number 4. Can I get you something for lunch? Oh, don't go out of your way. It's no problem. I'm going to the delicatessen across the street. 5. Should I push this button? No. Don't push the record button. It'll erase the tape. Number 6. See you later. Okay, but it's almost 2. Don't forget to pick up the children. They get out of school in about an hour. Last but not least, the writing practice. Read the letter from some friends. Then write a letter to them saying what your plans are this summer. Dear anyone, it can be any name. It's your name, in fact. I have 2 exams tomorrow, and I should be in the library right now. But first, I wanted to write you a short letter. I'm going to spend the summer in Miami Beach with my parents. I love the ocean and the hot sun, and there are lots of great seafood restaurants near the beach. I think some of my friends are going to be in Miami this summer too. By the way, what are your plans for the summer? Maybe you could come here and stay with us in August. My parents always love to meet my friends. Write soon and tell me if you can come. Love, Ellen. Now you can write to her, and say anything you want. You can answer her based on your plans and decisions. I wrote an example. First, on the top right corner, we write the date, any date which applies to you. Dear Ellen, thanks for inviting me to stay with you and your parents in August. I'm going to take my vacation in August too. First, I'm going to visit my parents in Atlanta for 2 weeks. But I can come to Miami on August 15th and stay for a week. I think it's a great idea. I love to swim and love seafood. I hope to hear from you soon. Love, your name. So if you want me to check your writings and see if by any chance there are mistakes or something to be corrected, you can send them to me, and I will do it gladly. I will look at them and I will tell you the points about your writings. But I'm sure anyway that your writings are great already. See you next time. Goodbye.